You're welcome back to Life Skills Technologies. We are still on this topic on using CSS. I'm Engineer Peter Ajewole. Now let's go back to what we did in the last video. We are trying to lay out our web page, and we divided the body section into different divs. So we want to style each of these so that our site will look real. And before I ended that session, I created a link tag. Look at what I'm highlighting here. That link tag will link this index page with our CSS. And before that, if I go to the site folder, I created a document called style. I use Notepad to create style, and I call it style.css. That .css will make your browser to recognize it and your system to see it as a cascading style sheet, just as we normally save our index page as index.html. So we save this as style.css. Now, what we're going to do here is we want to write our CSS in this external style sheet. Let me double click this. SharePoint, no. Let's right click and open with Notepad. It's a blank page. There's nothing there. Let me increase font size so that, okay. There's nothing there because we have not begun to write style sheet. Now I have the index open. Now right here in this area, these are the things I want to style. And though we don't have a particular pattern there, but in our page we have, this is the header, these are the things we have there, just as we type it here. So let me begin with the header. Now let's leave this overall wrapper for now. If I go to style sheet, I will say header. Now why will I do that? Because as you know that I use ID attribute. If I use class, I will say .header. I will start it with a dot. But because I use ID, so I'm starting with hash symbol. Now, if I go back to CSS, then I will type the first property there, and the property I would like to put there will likely be background image. So I'm going to put background. But before we do background image, let's do background color first. The reason is this: in most sites, if because of internet speed, probably it is slow, the color will load faster than the image. So I would recommend you put both. Okay, let's put background color. Let's put hash 666 like that. Now you know that to write CSS, you need to put the property. You type the selector, the property, then the value. We've done this. Don't want to waste time on that. So let's save. Then let's put another property. Let's call it height. The height of our header, let it be, sorry for that. The height of our header, let it be probably 150 pixels. So let's save that. I'll come to our browser and refresh. Okay, that is the header. I don't think I kind of like that color. But for now, let's keep it like that. We can try to change the color to hash 66666. Let's save and refresh. Okay, so that is our header color. Now the header will usually contain the banner of the organization or the company. So we are going to go to our notepad again, our style, and put background image. So let's put background image. So that's another property, colon. But in his own case, you type URL, you open bracket, you now start quotation mark. So the file name will be in between the quotation mark. So you are going to get an image into your site folder. So, and if I go to my site folder on the desktop, I think that is where kind of okay, using CSS, the folder is here. So I'm going to put an image here. Now, if you are using Windows 7, you can find a lot of images in Windows 7 in sample picture. If you are using Windows 10, you can find images by going to C drive. In your C drive, you go to Windows, then under Windows, you go to Web. Then you can pick image from this screen. You can also pick image from wallpaper among these flowers, Windows 10, and so on. So you guess where I got okay, site pictures. So you could guess where I got this Windows pictures. So that's where I got it. So let's pick any one of these. Let's pick this. Let's copy it. And go into the site folder. We paste it there. Then we name it. We'll rename it as whatever name you want to give it. I'll call it background. And you have to note whether it is JPEG or PNG file or TIF or GIF. It's very important. If you can't see that, you go to view. You can change the view to see the details. So you check the details to show the type of file you are putting there, because there are many image files. We have PNG, we have JPEG, and so on. So if I go back to my CSS, here I will now put the name of my image, background, the name of the image file, background image dot PNG. Don't forget the file extension is very important, either PNG or JPG or TIF or GIF. Okay, let's save this and go to a browser and refresh. So I have that. So, but if I go back to my site folder and I try to launch this background image, it doesn't look like what I have here. So we're going to do something about that. There are two things you can do in order to achieve this. In order to make the background, now that we are here, these are the background image looks like. You can come back to CSS and say background size. You can make it 100%. Cause you want it to show, at least for all the background to be represented. So if I come here and refresh, let me see if I've saved these at all. you can see there is a little difference, that the part on the right hand side is captured. It's captured in the background. So there's a difference there. Another thing you can do now, instead of using 100%, you can say cover and save. Let's see the effect of that. So let's refresh. So they do the same thing. So Sarah, you say 100% cover there, but let's do 100%. The another thing is you can do is just a background. Can do another one. I call it background position. So let's do position. You can position it left or right or whatever. So let's save and see the effect of that. Okay. So you can see the position has changed and it's trying to bring into focus all the features of the image. Okay, let's make it center. Center, and let's refresh. Okay, so this is the best it can do. But in order to avoid wasting of time, if you go to your site folder and check the properties of that image, right click and check the properties of the image. Properties. Discover that it's very heavy. That's 3.20 megabyte. And if you click on details, you discover that it is 1920 by 1200. So that is very heavy. So I would recommend that most of the time before you use your image, make sure you edit it with CorelDRAW, Photoshop, or Adobe Fireworks, or any image editing software. But if I right click this one, I can edit open with Microsoft Office 2010. This Microsoft Office 2010 should come with almost all Windows, especially most Windows we have it. So if we click on edit picture, you can compress the picture by clicking on compress on the right hand side here. Click documents and say save. So if you close this, just click save. Okay, create all. See that created all. Okay, so it created a version for me and it's called JPEG. And if I right click it and check properties, I discover it's lighter, it's 111 kilobyte, and the details is giving me 1024 by 640. So that is better. Okay, now if I try to, I have two background images but different file type, because so if I go back and change this one to JPG and save, and I refresh, nothing is happening there. Okay, let me remove this and save. Alright, I think I kind of like this, because it's trying to give me more parts of the image. So that is about background image. But there is something you can do. You can reduce the height and whatever. So, but the rule is this: before you begin to use your image, at least try to edit the image to the appropriate size that will fit your site. So, appropriate size that will fit the website. So let's leave that. Now let's tie the navigation.